Okay. Connecting to stream chat. I'm gonna play. There's this thing where it's like connected to chat. And it's like, no, just getting disconnected from chat.
Sophitia versus Nightmare.
No, I mean, in all honesty, the kind of absurdist look has been in here since the beginning. I really thought this was like new Calibur.
Oh, I always forget about that.
I love how he like super preps for that swing and then just goes whap.
Yeah,
Like, why?
Nightmare.
Who's that?
well, obviously he's right arm the block.
Right, yeah.
Battle 2, fight!
That is full blocking. Bad call.
That really was.
Just as a by the by. Oh, nice. Hold fast there.
Yeah. I should stop blocking.
Sophitia wins!
I don't know. It's a bold strat.
Yeah.
I like it.
Final
I was
battle,
learning it
fight!
with ball sound.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I always forget it. That comes in threes. Does it make sense to do that freaking fast?
Hitting. What are you doing?
Figure out what my range was. Not figuring it out by the end.
The soul.
I am button mashing the hell out of
Nightmare wins!
I'm button mashing the hell out of everything. Let's just be really honest here.
Welcome back to the stage of history.
I'm gonna be, Pink Floyd's Inferno.
Lizard Man versus
Like his sword?
Inferno.
Yeah.
Battle 1, fight!
I really do, right? Oh, that's not a good way to go. And just you? No. Big bag.
Lizard Man was seriously wounded. Inferno wins!
Awesome moves. Yeah. I don't know which ones they are though.
Inferno!
Fight!
Oh! Wonder what character I am
Look
now!
at that range.
Okay, so... Oh, that was cool! Yeah! Okay, I think I get it now. Oh, X is... horizontals.
He's not blocked yet. Still not blocked.
Was seriously
Still not blocked.
X is horizontal, Y is verticals.
Inferno wins!
He's guard.
Yeah.
Alright,
Welcome
feel better
back
about
to the
it.
Learn about
stage of
Lizard
history.
Lizard Man again. I'll play Baldo again and see if I can't
Nope.
do it.
I don't want to be here.
Mitsurugi versus Buldo.
I hate him so.
Battle 1, fight!
Hi. I think I just leaned into a hit. Hey! No, you did pretty damn well. Oh, that ass.
Oh, we were saying before the stream, we don't see very many Soul Calibur cosplays.
Yeah.
So he suggested that he pull those.
I did
Coming
not.
December.
This is live.
That sounds like a commitment. I can stab you through
That
this
is
jump.
that just kills people. That doesn't do what it. No. I do appreciate the like near full combat levels. Like this. Yeah, that would kill you. That's fine.
Mitsurugi was seriously wounded, but the soul still burned. Voldo wins!
Look at my ass while I do this move. I just kissed you.
Oh, we're friends now.
It's okay. Don't die. Oh man, that frame just fell. Okay.
I cannot figure out how the hell he moves.
I know, is it great?
No, it's like
It just...
I don't like it.
This victory strengthened the
Remember that, like that. I
soul
don't intend to do that. That's just something weird I can do it.
Mitsurugi wins!
I know it's Stuart becomes when he grows up.
Oh,
Welcome back
I mean
to the
that's
stage of history.
Hang. H is
Swing.
silent.
Ring.
That is Old Man Kane. Cowboy series.
Okay.
That was a Diablo Beast
Edgemaster versus
Oh my gosh, yes!
It's almost daddy.
Battle
Looks
one,
surprisingly
fight.
normal. These are not fucking good.
Yeah.
Let's just
Yeah, Taekwondo can beat every other martial art.
Still burn. Edgemaster wins.
really missed out by not calling him in.
I was just thinking that.
Battle
I also
two,
like how it's
fight.
played.
No!
Master Rob.
Alright, this is
Hey!
I hate that.
Wins.
I will remember your defeat and how bad my flat top looks.
Final battle, fight.
No!
Hi.
They really threw me a bone giving me Keelik there.
Goodbye, Spine.
Edgemaster. Edgemaster wins.
Uh-huh.
I wish I knew that.
Welcome back to the stage of history.
I'm gonna be... X-Pad.
Okay.
Very...
Not allowed to pick level.
every time you lose, you pick a level.
Maxi versus Son Nina.
Yeah, this was like the only fighting game I ever
Fight.
Is like it's genuinely Calibur. And fighting games as a whole, I thought I was pretty good at them until I started chasing. I never thought I was good at fighting games.
Son Nina was seriously
I do love it.
wins.
Oh yeah,
Can you imagine how much fun it must be to be the guy that gets just
Battle 2, fight.
Okay,
That's cool, I guess.
Hey,
Maxi was
really what I wanted to do.
I think it worked okay.
It worked, but that's not.
wins.
Don't treat me like a child, Peter.
But Daddy, I love him. Alright. I took away the perfect time.
I would have cut you in twain. I would have just sliced you like the hell up. There's no like my body's fine.
Yeah.
That felt good.
Was it good for you too? Probably not.
Welcome back to the
it's not-
stage of
yeah.
history.
Oh, oops.
Oh,
Let me.
on Maxie.
I might call him Moxie. Moxie. I will say, after finding out what the buttons do,
It's funny how you get better.
I've done fairly alright. Oh no, not Siegfried.
Okay, so you're on that one,
Versus Maxi.
Oh, you're right!
Yeah.
What the shit?
Battle 1, fight!
Why did you go for that much air, Maxie? Oh, and in the water!
Yeah!
Damn it! I tried to like advance guard so I could.
Yeah.
Siegfried
That's why I just kept pushing
wins.
buttons hoping you were gonna time it wrong.
And I did!
Yeah,
I nailed it!
delivered. I took it, man.
Yeah, anytime. Nope, jump kicks
Maxi.
That was always my favorite part.
running right off the edge.
Siegfried
With the bear.
wins.
Not even in the water shall you escape me.
Welcome back to the stage of
I wasn't
history.
done yet.
See, I'm gonna be skull away.
Yeah.
You don't get to pick.
I'm just not allowed, I guess.
Cervantes versus Rock.
See,
Battle 1.
I'm actually a Cuba.
Not at all.
Oh, okay.
This
There's that.
strengthened the soul.
Alright, well now I know that I have to be on the wrong side of the grapple.
Cervantes wins.
Different from every other character.
I like how his hat is like an upside down. How was that, Brock Lesnar? In the Brock Lesnar? Yeah. I'm mixed up.
God, bless him! That's another thing.
Rock.
Like, oh my god, he's doing the same thing over and over. I can commit to the timing and just squeeze in. Oh, but I might get hit, I'm gonna block. I blocked the wrong time, I'm dead.
You like the headbutt? It's a good butt.
Wins.
Yeah. Didn't
Really
really do
just
what I
bring it all
To
home.
the stage of history.
I need to play as more Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Happen. Hello, Morgan and Morgan's friend. Why didn't you just sidestep me? Because I don't play this game well.
Yeah.
I just learned the buttons like 5 minutes ago.
Versus Rock.
Like,
Can I get a name tag?
Battle 1. Fight.
I think so.
Let's get a t-shirt! That was super effective. Oh, wow!
There we go. Okay.
Seriously wounded.
I was sidestepping because I kept pressing the block button.
Wins.
Dipshit.
Why'd you mention that?
Bangu, this is for
Battle
you.
2. Fight.
Nailed it.
Intentional.
I know, I was like, how did you know? Oh, now it's not me. Look. Yeah, block being a button is weird. Yeah.
Soul of
I
Nightmare.
used to think that was a really good idea when I played this.
It's good if you have, like...
Final
Yeah.
battle. Fight.
Yeah. Hitbox.
I feel like...
That was my patented no shovel technique.
This victory strengthens the soul of Nightmare. Nightmare wins.
My wife really prefers I use the axe. It really gathers the most snow.
Welcome back to the stage of
From Brock
history.
Lesnar. I will win as Dwayne. I don't think so. Did
I thought
I?
you won one. I thought the first one won.
No,
Because I was playing this,
you were Cervantes. Is that a move?
Oh no!
Was seriously wounded.
One-handed that, like reckless abandon.
Your arms, you don't need both of them. What am I doing?
I think I hurt your leg.
Two.
Or you hurt your leg? I'm not really sure. And I really hate how that has far reach.
Oh no! Oh no!
This victory strengthens the soul of Rock.
Alright. I want to Dwayne the Brock Johnson and everything's fine. Bangu!
Welcome back to the stage of
Bangu!
history.
Okay, so do you do Lizard Man mouth closed or mouth open? Open.
Why don't I get to pick any maps?
No!
I'm just gonna get random anyway.
You don't get to pick maps because I just slid my sword to my face. Why is he not blocking? I was getting aim at the whole time.
This
I mean,
strengthens
every
the
hit.
soul of
Because that's not a shield.
Inferno wins.
Just cosplaying. That's cardboard.
Yeah, I did.
That's cardboard.
Shit,
Right?
I can't use
nothing.
this.
Battle 2. Fight.
I just need it.
Now you're me. Your character's much smarter than mine.
Yeah, sure looks like it.
Because when you swipe up, you use your sword. When I swiped up, I used my fucking shield.
Works now. Yeah, the shot.
Oh no! Oh no!
Lizard Man was seriously wounded,
Yeah.
but the
Oh,
soul
guy.
still burns. Inferno wins.
Hey, fuck. God, it makes me so angry.
To the stage of history.
Oh, I'm heating up! So you can either play as Bob or Goth Bob. Go Bobs! Is it a Bob showdown?
Sophitia
Showdown of the Bobs?
versus Ivy.
I have gloves on!
What in the world?
Fight.
What game is this? Not the Soul Calibur I know and love.
Oh, that's
Man, the Bobs!
This victory strengthens the soul of Sophitia.
I like how I
Sophitia
have the
wins.
flyers down and I immediately drop it.
Yeah,
Get a guard, but I'd rather try to hit you.
Yeah.
Battle 2. Fight.
my chance. That whole like one shot song by Eminem relationship. Okay.
I totally meant to bring that together.
I know you did.
That was all 100%.
And that's why it
Sophitia
felt
wins.
very, very good.
Yeah.
I
meant
won.
to do that.
Thank you, Sophia.
Yeah.
We didn't know.
To the stage
Yeah, I
of
meant-
history.
That was all.
I don't know. I mean, Goth Bob is cool, but it's
Pop up.
you're having Bob with clothes on.
Yeah.
Sophitia versus Ivy. Battle
The
1.
food
Fight.
physics are bad. They should feel bad.
Right. That was
What is happening? It looked like you were just snapping when I was bouncing for some reason. Hooray!
It wasn't. Oh, no, we made it.
Oh, man.
Wins.
Up, up, down, down, left, right, A, B, A.
Battle 2. Fight.
Why do I keep bouncing so bizarrely? Wing.
This victory strengthens the soul of
The bounce is my favorite.
Sophitia.
Because I don't understand why it was
wins.
necessary.
I heard we were playing lethally.
Yeah,
Final
yeah.
battle. Fight.
Sophitia, I appreciate Sophia's, like, very Captain Obvious thing. Is after the announcer is Nope.
This victory strengthens the soul of Sophitia. Sophitia wins.
Can't lose. Even though I definitely want to get
Welcome
to
Yeah,
back to the
I already-
stage of history.
Alright. And I've come a long way, guys.
I wonder if we have chat right now or not.
Song Yori versus Ivy.
From the chat room.
Battle 1. Fight.
Yeah. Fun fact about now.
Okay.
If you move up forever, you get closer. Damn it! Block being a button. That's making it so hard.
Yeah. That's another reason I started with fighting games. I just started to play at some point.
It's like the time where it's like, wait, oh, God,
Yeah.
now I know.
This victory strengthens
Now I know. Take it first.
That was rough.
wins.
Yeah,
Sit and wait.
yeah.
Battle 2.
Pick more? Okay, can do.
That's the other thing, it's like you have Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, like, you got then you've got like Finger, and like God, Soul Calibur.
Strengthened the soul of
Yeah. Soul Calibur is a little unlike
Wins.
because It's just
Welcome back to
so
the stage of history.
like no, man.
I mean, everything we played so far has been.
Yeah, but there's a difference here. Like, it almost feels like the health bar doesn't do a whole lot.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, when every hit is so damaging. Rando calorie.
Siegfried versus Taki. Battle.
Why am I accentuating my boobs?
That took too long. Oh, that was kind of cool looking though.
There's my... That was hard.
That was cool!
Taki was seriously wounded, but the soul still burns.
Yeah.
Siegfried.
Like, I could still float to the top.
Yeah.
You would sink to the bottom.
We sent him in the recovery team.
Battle 2. Fight.
Back up.
This victory strengthens the soul of Taki.
Yeah, merciless kicks.
Wins.
Haven't you had enough?
Never.
Final battle. Fight.
Oh, I was really hoping you were gonna do that.
Oh, it worked! Damn
This
it!
victory strengthens the soul of Siegfried.
Like, this is my time to rush into the attack! I definitely would attack so. How do you feel now? Well, bad.
Welcome back
Thanks for
to the
asking.
stage of history.
Hi, Rod.
I feel like I just got headbutted twice. You know what?
Versus Taki.
Hey, man, she's definitely
Battle 1.
dipping.
Fight. This victory strengthens
Trying to block
the
that
Everything.
soul of
Oh, was it?
Wins.
Yeah, well, except for the one that was a cartwheel, but I kept going back.
Battle 2. Fight.
Got the rod.
Victory strengthens the soul of
At least this one doesn't have a like.
Wins.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
This rod will be your
Oh my
doom.
God.
Welcome back to the stage of history.
That should be in some...
Shanfa
Oh, did not.
versus
Oh, her
Astaroth.
face!
Battle 1.
Like, Astaroth's heart being outside of his body is better than his fucking face.
He's really fast for that guy. Oh, that was fun. Ever playing this one again?
Because I wear my heart on.
That's not true. We don't have any.
Astaroth wins.
Giving him stuff.
Gotta restart it.
Battle 2. Fight.
I am...
Yeah. Doesn't that feel good when you
Bye.
can just slide kick out?
Strengthens the soul of Astaroth.
I think my favorite part was the fact that the river was like the boat was moving along the river, so you did just get past.
Welcome back to the
Alright, now we're
stage
gonna
of
do her again.
history.
Okay. Play as Edgelord the Redhead. Hey, you get to pick a stage.
What?
Stupid map? Stupid map. Oh, I have... Oh, what happened to
Versus
his head?
Edge Master. Battle 1.
His hair or
Fight.
stitches?
Soul Mina was seriously wounded. Soul still burned. Edgemaster wins.
Match is mine.
Battle
Come on now.
2, fight.
Ow! I basically just played healing. Why the hell am I stuttering so much?
Edgemaster.
I'm surprised that one didn't hit.
Edgemaster wins.
Idiot.
Oh no, it is.
Welcome back to the stage of history.
I'm trying my best.
Hey, you get to pick a level.
Yeah.
Not confident. Confident. Or home base.
Yep.
Choices, man.
Yeah, that one looks cool. We're gonna do that one.
Palgea.
Soul Mina versus Cervantes.
Get out metal.
Battle 1, fight.
Not that one. What? Damn, I thought I had more health than that.
I thought it was green out there.
Soul Mina
Oh, not enough?
No, never.
Battle
Oh,
2,
snaps.
fight.
Oh, stop it. What? I don't know.
Was seriously wounded. Cervantes wins.
Kick my pain, bitch. Yeah.
Final battle, fight.
Oh, that was cool!
Oh, accidental, I promise.
This victory strengthens the Soul Mina.
Yeah, that's another reason.
Wins.
Yeah. That was an easy look at your health,
Welcome
dummy.
back
One of
to
these
the
days it just-
stage of history.
Slip out of your hands, basically.
Oh, it's happened.
Has it
It's
really?
happened. Oh, yeah. Those GameCube controllers, like... That means you work.
N-E-M. I don't know what that means. Edge Master.
Elephant.
It's probably like elephant.
Pretty
Oh,
sure
wait.
it's Elephant Meister.
Nightmare versus
Bye-bye.
Cervantes. Battle 1, fight.
Why you don't like
But the soul still burns. Nightmare
Actually,
wins.
that controller's pretty happy.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, yeah. Really just like, pop it off.
Battle 2, fight.
What's in there?
I put some
That was fun.
Oh, I finally got to see that kick land.
Talking about my kick?
Oh, my leg!
I don't know.
This victory strengthens Nightmare. Nightmare wins.
Other.
Welcome back to the stage of history.
I don't know what it looks like. Soul Calibur predicted Halo, spread it on.
Yep.
Really interesting.
Versus Nightmare.
Got pretty long locks, baby girl.
1, fight.
just desert create their corpses.
Oh, he gets back up.
Oh, he's sticking down.
Wait a
More
second.
souls. Oh, he got a little skull thing.
Battle 2, fight!
Wind up. Literally too much wind up.
Wins!
Nightmare 2 until whoever I was playing against realized, like, I just gotta pick somebody kinda not horribly slow, and...
Okay, alright.
This victory strengthens the
Cancelled. Like, neither of us hit each other.
wins!
Okay, alright.
Oh, man.
Welcome back to the stage of history.
It's random. I actually have not
That's an
played
excellent
it.
idea. Damn it,
Too
damn
bad.
it, damn it, damn it, damn it.
Astron versus Sophia.
Oh, purple.
Battle 1,
Oh, it
fight!
reminds me of like a... Oh, she doesn't.
How many times have I knocked you in the air at the end?
Victory strengthens
Well, I was correct. So,
Astaroth wins!
I assume that. So. Come on. Like how his heart jiggles like... He's got one bomb. He's like Tom's bomb. Oh, bye.
Yeah, well, it looked like it was like a setup for playing.
Oh yeah.
Not that I think there's that much accuracy into this game. That's what.
Welcome
I mean, his
back
hands are
to the
literally
stage
floating
of
around.
history.
I'm just gonna play the media until I win, just like I did with Brock Lesnar.
Oh, I'm
Shanfa versus
Well,
Sophia.
I'm a character that.
Battle 1, fight!
No! That was the crap! That was pathetic! What? Watch this! Watch this! How does this work?
Seriously wounded.
And you, like...
Sophia
Like, I don't even
wins.
know. I don't even know. I don't even know. I can't... She's just
She
throwing out
doesn't know
things.
either.
She's so bad!
hang on over here. My worst fear was the Iron Knight just happened.
Seriously wounded.
If it on a shot, slide right under and set myself up to see
Sophia
now. Hold.
wins.
I won!
Gangwa delivered.
Welcome back to the stage of
Okay,
history.
well... I haven't played Yoshimitsu. Yoshi.
I get the kid. Big one. Let's do the big one.
Biggin!
Yeah, do the big one.
Yoshimitsu versus Yoshimitsu. Battle 1, fight! Yoshimitsu seriously wounded, but the soul still burns. Yoshimitsu wins!
Life is
You're not
vain!
entirely made out of wood.
Ah.
Battle 2, fight!
The block button. I cannot tell you how many times I'm just pressing back to block. It is so bad. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't do anything but that. I intended to. Yeah. Who's gonna do that next?
I should have run back to
Okay, just shoot.
Welcome back
Stop,
to
stop,
the stage of history.
I accidentally stepped on it.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
I'm in the middle of the floor.
I haven't played Mitsurugi yet.
Oh damn it!
You get
I
big
should have
level
been
though.
the lizard man.
You don't want to play Maxi?
Oh.
No!
You didn't do the one that makes me mad.
But I'm playing...
Mitsurugi.
Guys, so... That's how this will go. I'm playing,
Poorly playing your couch.
I'm playing Tom Cruise. Wow!
This victory strengthens the soul of Mitsurugi.
Yeah.
Mitsurugi
I don't know, it like
wins.
locks you in, too.
Yeah,
Like, there
I
were a lot of
hate it.
moves where, like, you just don't recover.
Battle 2, fight!
Kinda suck shit. Knock me out.
Maxi was seriously
Left me for
wounded.
some reason.
Mitsurugi.
No samurai would do the, like, short swipe up hop thing.
Did you see what he just did?
No.
He thumbed his
Welcome
blade.
back to
Oh,
the stage of history.
But, no, I've already played healing. I'm gonna win with healing. That's what's gonna happen.
You're like,
Yeah, just like,
did you win the season?
Tryhards
You win Tryhards?
versus King.
and that thrash.
Battle 1, fight!
Oh my god! No!
Soul still burns. Kiriko wins!
I feel good.
Battle 2, fight!
A little bit, yeah. Like, and like, get out! I tried to grab you a bunch. It did not work.
Was seriously wounded, but the soul still burns. Cervantes wins!
I kill it, can.
Final battle, fight!
If I was playing Cervantes, just in the face! What was that? I'm bravely
This
Snow White.
victory strengthens the soul of Cervantes.
Well, how many of these times like, oh, we just kind of didn't know our range. You got me.
Yeah. Takes my pain, bitch.
Welcome back
Yeah.
to the stage of history.
Hey, we'll play him again. Yeah.
No.
Oh, it's a battle of
Mine's pointy though.
battle of the
One, fight!
cube.
Like a slightly faster original. As the getting green cloud. I just got up quicker. Oh my god.
No. Get out. Listen to the beat of my soul. Got a sick rock.
That's fine. Got to figure it out.
Champion one win.
Still burns.
Don't treat me like a child.
Treat me like a grown woman.
Final battle, fight!
Yeah,
That really gets me though.
This victory strengthens the soul of
Yeah.
that's the one problem so far. Is like with any of these characters. Is
Welcome back to the
I
stage
feel like I have
of
some idea
history.
of Siobhan is. That's it.
well, it's like with what works with one character generally works with all characters. That doesn't mean any.
Yeah, well, that's everything too. Like, play Mortal Kombat. Special. Every basic attack. Yay!
Bulldog.
Fetishism versus
Han Song-yong.
cats.
I like his little.
Battle 1, fight!
Oh, can't figure out how to. That was a really extended attack. Weird.
Han Song-yong was
I like how it just like, give it to me. Yeah, I'm ready for it. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Wins!
Like,
I
a more creepy devil.
Battle 2, fight!
Go!
oh,
I'll be in 2019!
I know it. No.
That's
Han Song-yong was
Yeah.
still burn. Voldo wins!
Take that. Man, that was.
That's the
perfect.
camera.
That's-
Perfect.
Welcome
good
back
screenshot
to
that.
the
Facebook
stage
profile.
of history.
We got 9 minutes.
Alright.
Here, I looked at the clock forever ago, and we had. We're trying to pick the level.
That is how that works.
I know. I just felt like much longer.
Rock versus Han Song-yong.
I really wish they had the balls to make him a.
Oh, that's so cool! Blue!
I know that, but I feel like I
got on one, but I'm gonna practice and be prepared for fighting game. And that little mark
Battle 2,
Yeah.
fight!
buzzed at me.
I'm in snow shovel technique. I should have seen it coming from a mile away.
I mean, I could like,
Rock
Hear that you're down to light.
still burns. Han Song-yong
Remember your
wins!
defeat. Thanks.
Final
He
battle,
does scrapbook.
fight!
know. I was like, oh man, I can maybe turn this around from
Rock wins.
Goose, give up.
That's what I do.
Welcome back to the stage of history.
I like how they're making us welcome.
And
Oh no, that's not what I wanted to pick! Damn it, it's her again!
Sanfa versus Siegfried. Battle 1, fight!
no sword.
I don't know why none of my low strikes are going low.
Well,
That
there
one
one.
didn't. That one
The
even
one that counted.
Wounded, but the soul still
Starting.
Sanfa
That was my guard.
wins!
ざっとこんなもんね
Well, let's do it.
Why didn't you just
Battle
play
2, fight!
Place it.
Would it be better if Oh! Ow! Oh! Owie!
Was seriously wounded, but the soul still burns.
It's like you don't want to see what's happening.
Wins! Final battle, fight!
I totally blocked that. I didn't block that.
Okay, I was like, did it?
I won with her!
Sanfa wins!
Thanks.
It has been for the last like
Justice
half
will
hour.
prevail. Just kidding.
To the stage of
Justice,
history.
apparently. I got played everything. Possibly.
I don't think I've been hacked.
Play everybody. Oh, now it's a choice of like, what is the favorite? And to be honest, I hated all of them. Yeah, just do God. No, we'll do Go Bobs. Yeah. Go Bobs for the life.
Some space to move.
Taki versus
も
Ivy.
うおしまいよ
Battle 1,
I will
fight!
know in a second.
このやこのこのこの
Oh, that is not what I expected.
寝てな
Oh, what?
Turns it around.
Okay.
Was seriously wounded.
Crap.
Ivy wins.
満足した
That hurt.
Yeah.
Battle
Oh, I
2,
was thinking.
fight!
So much fun.
このこの
Oh,
Knockout!
she's so.
I enjoyed it. I thought she was good. I like that girl.
Yeah, I really like her.
Ivy wins!
Yeah.
Welcome back to the stage of history.
Alright, last game to do the thing.
Yeah.
Kick versus Taki.
The whole, like, let's
Battle
get
1,
ready.
fight!
That.
Victory strengthens the soul.
Wasn't that
Kick wins!
長いものには巻かれろってね
God will be your tomb.
There's the rod.
Battle 2, fight!
いざそこいざそこ
The worst part about this game for me is that, like, and part of it. What? Yeah. I can't replicate shit. I'm like, I did it this way. Apparently not. Apparently that wasn't the way I did it.
Burns. Kikyo wins.
俺の道を教えてくれ
No.
Welcome back to the stage of history.
Oh, actually, that only took us a minute. Again! Oh, to select time of day. Money pit. Coffin level.
Versus Taki. Battle 1. Fight.
Oh, what was that?
I don't know! That's what I'm saying!
And coloring out.
Taki. Still burns. Kick. Wins.
長いものには巻かれろって
Yeah, they don't do anything very substantial.
Battle
So
2.
you have to
Fight. Victory. Strengthened soul of Taki.
release me from my earthly prison. Let me go to the water.
I'm trying. Hey.
Anything, apparently.
Final battle. Fight.
Oh, that could have been so cool.
Oh my gosh!
This victory strengthens the soul of Taki. Taki wins! Welcome back to the stage
That's
of
more
history.
Tryhards.
25 and 13 here. It's annoyed me. And again,
Roughly.
it wasn't as bad as what it... There. Yeah, that's too much. Okay, that's it.
Come listen to our podcast. We play music, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. That's what
We do all the breakdowns.
we're just doing this for fun.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Welcome to two more Tryhards with the two of the Tryhard trio. I am at Bearded Catholic, also known as Morgan.
And I'm at Nerdwell Rounded. I'm Peter.
Randed.
I'm at Nerdwell Rounded.
So you
My name's Slippy Slide McGlide.
Oh my gosh. And our third Tryhard member is Jordan, or at that guy Jordan on Twitter. Post stream breakdown. Barkdown.
Borkdown?
Borkdown. This is the fighting game month of October. I don't know why we didn't go spooky.
I was thinking the same thing. I was looking through Resident Evil stuff like, I have Outlast, I have Resident Evil, there's a Silent Hill collection I want to buy. I've got Left 4 Dead, I've got Silent Hill Homecoming, I've got Alan Wake, we've got Diablo, we've got Dante's Inferno. We have so much spooky crap.
I literally
BioShock.
I cannot tell you how many times this thought has crossed my mind throughout the month of October, but that's fine. It's fighting game month.
I think Thanksgiving will be spooky month.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Thanksgiving is
It's like
spooky.
an extension of Spooktober is
Yeah.
what we're doing. So like,
Well, when I think November, I think there's family stuff coming.
yeah.
And that scares the life out of me.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah.
So we need to continue that tradition
Yeah.
by bringing the scares to you all month long. Fighting game month. We've done a myriad of fighting games, and next week we're doing the new Soul Calibur. So this week was the original Soul Calibur, not Soul Blade. Soul
Wait, was it
Calibur.
Soul Blade or Soul Edge? I thought the first was Soul Edge. Or am I drunk?
No, I think there were two.
Were there two?
I think there were two.
Oh my gosh, that means there's one I haven't played.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, I
makes me
think
sad.
I think I found this out this week that Soul Blade and Soul Edge were two things.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. which makes sense because in the fiction they're two different things,
Interesting.
if I recall correctly. Because one's the good sword and one's the bad sword.
Yeah.
Am I right? And
I'm not sure. I searched Soul Blade, and it shows me Soul Edge with a cover that says Soul Blade. So I'm wondering if it's like America's versus the East thing.
Oh,
that made it
maybe.
different.
that could be it. I might
Yeah.
have just messed it up. So maybe.
Yeah, so Soul Edge is a fighting game developed by the Team Project Soul and published by Namco as the first installment in the Soul series of 3D fighting games.
Okay.
Originally released as an arcade game in December 1995, an upgraded and expanded version of the game was ported to the PlayStation in December 1996.
Yep.
PlayStations are old. The PlayStation version was renamed Soul Blade in North America, Europe, and Australia.
There we go. Okay. So it was the same thing,
They are the same.
just different timing.
Yep.
Okay. So I played
And
Soul Blade.
one had some English in it.
Yeah. I played Soul Blade.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Moving right along. So this was Soul Calibur, which came out on the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
And
I'm so sad I never got to play it there. I never had a Dreamcast.
neither did I. And they
I
had
always
those.
really wanted one.
Same. They had those really cool save sticks that had like
Yeah.
their screens on them.
Yeah, I just wanted the first Sonic adventure. Like I had
Yeah.
a friend that didn't play games, but her brother was super into it, so they got a Dreamcast, and I
Yep.
would just go over to her house and I'd play her brother's Dreamcast.
Yep.
I was a bad friend.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. Soul Calibur 6 is coming out next week with Geralt from The Watcher.
You sure it's not Gerald?
Actually, it's Gerald.
Gerald.
Gerald from The Witcher.
Yeah.
Um,
Another one of those East Asia versus North America things.
yeah, so this was Soul Calibur, and next week we'll be doing Soul Calibur 6. But some things kind of came to me almost in a dreamlike trance as we were playing this Soul Calibur, which was it has always been pervy.
Yeah. Only if you play as women.
Yeah.
Or Valdo.
Yeah. I was really biggest disappointment. This will be my low point if I don't have a low point by that point. By the time we get to it in the podcast, but Volvo's butt should have the same jiggle as the boobs.
You keep calling him Volvo.
Yep, I sure do. Because he's a car.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
a big boy.
Yep. Look at that engine burn.
Please show me your bobs.
Too much time on the internet today.
Yeah, Valdo.
We're gonna go detox after this.
Valdo. But yeah, no butt jiggle. Made me a sad panda.
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah,
me
especially
a
since you
sad
got like
panda.
that close up at that one.
Oh man.
Like I thought for sure there was gonna be some goofy ass Japanese physics there.
Nah, they're not.
Because that's a dude.
They're not that brave.
Yeah, that's a dude.
We're willing.
Yeah, it was 1995, I suppose, or 1997.
He was
rather.
pretty out there for 1997.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's still out
he's
there
still pretty
now.
out there, yeah.
But like the fact that they
Yeah.
came out with him then, I'm surprised that he's still around. Frankly.
Yeah, I'm honestly the thing I'm most surprised about is that you really are just gonna have the Stones to cosplay him this coming September. I never would have thought you'd do that, but you made that commitment on stream and before. I was secretly recording it. So it's there.
Yeah. No,
I'm
but
pretty excited for that.
I never did say that. So
weird.
I know.
swear I remember
It's so
that.
odd.
Did you know if you repeat it enough times, it becomes true?
is that how that goes? I would.
That's what I tried.
It's one of those things where like, oh man, I would love to. Actually, like I think it would be so fun, but that's public indecency, my dude. Like there's
It's
nothing.
Portland.
There's nothing. I might not be here
Portland.
next Portland. Oh my
Next
gosh,
Portland?
next Portland. I might not be here next September.
Cosplay of Volvo.
With little blades.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Soul Calibur has aged just graphically, really.
Oh, well, yes,
Yes,
but not
and?
necessarily to an extent that like it's hard to look at.
No.
Like I think about other fighting games on the PlayStation, and I think like, did you ever play Bloody Roar?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was going through my parents' stuff, and I found one of my old PlayStation demo discs.
Yep.
And I popped it in,
Yep.
and you can count the polygons
Yep.
on like one hand.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And seeing this
bad.
game in comparison, that was obviously not the
Well,
PlayStation.
this
it
was
the
Dreamcast, yeah.
So it was prettier, but like, a very similar era.
Yeah.
and just the huge difference is unbelievable.
Well, even MK4 didn't look this good.
Yeah.
And MK4 was Dreamcast as well. So like this game is held up really well, actually. Gameplay is solid. I think it's gotten better.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think I was watching the Soul Calibur documentary, which is like a 13-minute long video.
There's a documentary?
Yeah, there's a little documentary thing. It's like a 13-minute long video, and it goes over how like Soul Calibur 2 was such a huge deal.
Yeah.
And so like it's fun to kind of play the predecessor, and then like I'd love to play Soul Calibur 2 again, but like to see where Soul Calibur 6 is now, and kind of feel that difference. There are some mechanics in Soul Calibur 6 that I already don't love, but provided people don't lean on those, it is still a very exciting and very fun fighting game. And I don't know, Soul Calibur, like this one is just, it's still enjoyable. It's kind of janky feeling, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that was sort of a manner of just it's sort of getting its footing, because we had a whole bunch of fighters because they were, really popular. Might even say that they started the ESRB.
Oh yeah.
So I think going from your traditional fighter where you're just punching the crap out of each other, and occasionally
really 2D fighting,
and then getting three-dimensional, and not just that, but having so many range differences and really having to look at hitboxes, having it being a weapon-based fighter, you're bound to hit some mechanical difficulties with something that was so drastically different from your just straightforward, are you within X amount of pixels? Okay, you hit him.
Right. And I think probably that's where it got the weirdest for me, was like our hitboxes got super strange. We had,
especially when you have one player up, one on the ground, and the 3 dimensions got real weird real fast.
Yeah. It's not to say it's bad. Yeah. It's like, it's a piece of history, and I like it because of that, but it's not something that I could be like, yes, I'm going to play this all the time. Again, I'm going to resurrect this sort of thing. Because it's janky.
Yeah, no, I got it because it was on discount on the Xbox Live Arcade way back in the 360 days.
Yeah.
And my first Soul Calibur was 3 was the one that had the different characters on each system, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so 3 was my first one, playing on the GameCube.
No, that was 2.
Was that 2?
That was 2.
Okay, so then my first one was 2.
Yep. That was my first. No, Soul Blade is my first, technically.
So having the GameCube controller, and it was itself sort of revolutionary for the time with the spacing. I know it doesn't necessarily mean good, but the layout of it was very
something.
Yes, absolutely it was.
It was Nintendo doing their thing.
Yeah, so I went back to Soul Calibur 1 because it was there, and it was like $2 or something.
Right.
And the difference that it makes playing this with, a normal offset thumbstick controller versus whatever the GameCube would be called at this point. Just night and day difference, and really feeling at home in a predecessor sort of feels strange to me. Like going from, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 to, Call of Duty Finest Hour, going from Halo 5 to Halo. Like, you really see the age between them.
You do.
Going through all of the different Soul Caliburs, you feel the age as it sort of grows into itself, but you don't think this is an aged mechanic, this is an aged game. Why am I playing this? That being said, it didn't really hold me beyond just, playing through the campaign, getting the achievements.
Right.
Because I'm not hugely into the competitive scene of fighters in an online sense.
Right.
Because I don't have a place there. I'm not good enough to warrant spending time there.
Right.
And Soul Calibur 1 is not a title that warrants taking the time to put yourself in that place.
No, it's not. And that was the one thing, because, and I already said this, but in terms of fighting games, there is kind of this like kind of watch and better understand. And Soul Calibur, at least this iteration, had so many kind of bizarre quirks and hitboxes that there were things that you would legitimately have to watch or learn to be like competitively good, but they were never things that were ironed out. So like the hitbox weirdness is just something that was, you just have to live with it, and you either learn about it or you just be like, what? Why did that happen?
Push buttons harder.
Yeah.
It works sometimes.
Yeah, 60% of the time, I'd say. Yeah. I don't know. It's a fun iteration. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a game I want to continue playing, but that goes with saying, like Asterisk, they've made 5 more. So like the newest iteration is probably going to be a superior iteration.
It's a franchise worth playing, even if the original is not necessarily something that
I would agree. Yeah.
is more than worth just going to. Like
Right.
I'd say go to it, play through it on all the various difficulties, play all the characters, just suck the life out of the game.
Yep.
But you're not going to commit a great deal of time to it.
No, and it was fun to play. It was entertaining, if not very bizarre. Like I could not. Most of the time in fighting games, I button mash until I get to a point where I can replicate what I've mashed.
Find something that feels good.
Yeah, and I could not find it on Soul Calibur, and that really bugged me because generally, like, I am pretty cognizant of what I'm doing. It's just, I go to replicate that thing, and I wasn't getting the same results.
Yeah.
So I definitely was either one of two things, and both are probably possible, is that I wasn't actually replicating it, very possible, or there is something in the game that contextually does something different, which I noticed a couple of times. Is like I'd press up and press Y, and it would do one thing, and then the next time I did it, it would do something completely different, and I could not for the life of me figure out why.
Yeah, I think that there's, if I recall correctly, there's a little bit of difference based on what your range is, but that range is a little bit nebulous.
Yep.
So I never figured it out, and I basically just tried to stay in close range the whole time with somebody fast or
except with
way
Keelik.
out the way.
Yeah.
No, with the only ones I really felt like I got a good grasp of is Keelik, forward BY, did my cartwheel.
That's what it was. See, I wasn't brave enough to venture into 2-button territory.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, see, that's the beautiful thing about fat fingering.
Oh,
You're just gonna accidentally fall into those. Yeah. So when I accidentally fell into it, I'm like, I bet I can do that again, and I did it again.
Okay.
So yeah, just setting up a string with the forward BY for the cartwheel. You get up and you swing. I back BY to do my step back and lunge in, and then I can just do the long bow, which was I think front Y. But I never really moved significantly in or out of any like long range or close range. So because I never really moved myself so much, I was able to just keep doing the same stuff.
Okay. And the comedic thing is, we played Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle quite some time ago, and I had actually the same issue with Cross Tag Battle as I did with Soul Calibur, where like if I don't nail down basics, I don't venture outside of basics. So I was still trying to figure out like, okay, why back does this, why forward does that, why up does this, why down does this, okay, and then X and then B, and so like I didn't even get to the point where I was like feeling adventurous enough to start double buttoning basically.
Yeah. See, my approach for fighting games is just roll my forehead across the buttons in the arcade cabinet and look up in 20-30 seconds to see who won.
And most of the time it's you.
So and I like honestly when we talked about fighting games, like this was the one that I wanted to make sure happened.
Yeah.
Because this is the only fighting game franchise out of all the fighting games. I played Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
I've like to the point that, I went and did a butt ton of wins in Mortal Kombat, but I didn't like it enough. Eventually I got bored. Right. My friend picked it up and played and got the rest of the wins. Like that's the extent to which like I didn't really feel compelled. I tried playing Street Fighter. I am so unbelievably bad at Street Fighter. I can't even figure it out.
Same. I am garbage at Street Fighter.
Injustice, and I've got all these things that are themed really fun that I really want to like.
Yep.
Like I talk about fighting games with other friends. Like I really, really want to like this franchise. I want to like this genre.
Right.
And I play it in training and it's fun. And I play it in the single player and it's kind of fun. And I bump up the difficulty and I'm seeing the glaring holes in my game, but I struggle through and I bump it up again. And I realize I'm just bad at this and I shouldn't bother. But Soul Calibur, I knew I could come in and feel competent and start to finish enjoy this one. I love this franchise.
It's a great franchise, and it does what I really love in fighting games, which is like carve its own niche, is flashy enough to where spectators can enjoy it, the people playing it enjoy it, because that's one thing. Like, say what you want about Street Fighter V's visuals, I don't think it's all that enticing to watch.
Yeah, it's literally flashy, and that's about the extent of it.
Yeah, it's just Mortal Kombat can be entertaining. I like kind of the speed of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Same with Injustice. What's the other one I'm thinking of? Oh, Dragon Ball Fighter Z is a visual feast. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is really fugly, but is actually really neat to watch, in my opinion. Plays blue. Like any anime fighter is always just automatically enjoyable for me, unless it's just like too fan servicey. Then I kind of tend to step out.
Those don't tend to be terribly well fleshed out most of the time.
No,
with the exception being like maybe Dead or Alive.
Maybe, yeah, and they tried to go for like less sexy this time around. I actually have never touched the Dead or Alive series. It's just never something that's grabbed me.
My first one was Dead or Alive 5 when it was just trying to find something flashy for my new Xbox 360.
Oh yeah,
and I was bad at it and put it away after an hour.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Fair enough. But yeah, Soul Calibur is fun because it's like, well, there's first of all, everyone has a weapon.
Yep.
That's something that not every game has, and the moment to moment gameplay is very fast. That was one thing that we made mention of while we played, was like I said the health bar doesn't feel like it matters too much, where every hit is so damaging that
if you can get a good flow, 2 combos ends the match.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And with the environmental stuff too, like 1 combo led to a ring out on multiple occasions.
Yep, that's true. Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that was one thing I noticed in Soul Calibur 6 is things are a little bit longer. But just a little, like not too much. It still carries that really quick sort of gameplay that gets just off the rails crazy real quick.
See, that's the difference you want to make sure you notice, is it gets longer, not slower.
Yeah,
slower doesn't feel good most of the time.
No, it does not. So I really look forward to Soul Calibur 6. I'm very excited now that we've played Soul Calibur 1. I really want to do a character creation.
I forgot they do that now.
Yeah. I love character creation.
We might
so
need
much.
to do 2 streams.
I'm down for that. So yeah, it's Soul Calibur is just, it's a fun franchise, and it's fun to go back and kind of see where it all began. It's not something that I want to keep playing necessarily, but that's also because
I feel good.
Yeah,
I feel satisfied.
You know, the new one's coming out, and that's what I'm going to be playing. So. You know.
I kind of want to get Soul Calibur 2 now, I'll be honest.
No, I get that. I do get that. To me, it's kind of one of those things where like I want to go where the fighting game kind of stays. And so if the fighting game has stayed with Soul Calibur 2, like I kind of want to get an HD remaster of Soul Calibur 2 and get good.
Yeah, I was really surprised. I earlier today when I was at work, I was trying to see like how much of an audience this still has. And so I looked to see what people were putting up for resources, for move lists, for who to watch to learn, what YouTube personality, et cetera. Yeah. And I just had such a blast from the past going to GameFAQs.
Oh man.
Yeah. And seeing write-ups from 1997, 1998, 2018. What?
Yeah.
And people still play this game.
Oh yeah.
It's something.
It's like Smash Bros. Like 96. Was that 96? I think.
Continue. I'll
like
Google.
The N64 Smash Bros. Still has a extremely devoted community, and that controller is garbage, just trash. But people still play that game competitively. There are scenes in like Salem that still, which is the capital of Oregon. It's a podunk little city. But yeah, there are huge scenes that still play Smash Bros. 64.
April 1999.
Oh, 99. So Smash Bros. 99. But yeah, no, it's really interesting to see what the fighting game community latches onto and what it drops, what it doesn't drop. I don't know. It's always fun. And it's also fun to see what games are kind of like cast aside as like, this is garbage and no one should play it.
Yeah.
But those are always really entertaining too.
Yeah.
So I like those. But yeah, so little bit of breakdown there. Any lasting thoughts?
I really, really like this game.
I
really, really like this franchise.
I like the franchise. I don't know that I love Soul Calibur the original, but I love the franchise. Like I love what Soul Calibur becomes, I guess.
It's about the journey, not the destination.
Yes. Yeah, but I don't want to start at the beginning again. That's basically what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I'm done with the beginning.
Yeah. So
we'll take 6 steps forward into Soul Calibur 2 now.
Yeah. So let's set up them highs and lows as we often do as Tryhards here at Two More Tryhards. What
I felt competent in a fighting game.
That was the high?
That was the high. I had a character that I figured something out that I could consistently execute. And I felt like I knew what I was doing for once. Like it takes me back to my Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 days where I played Cabal and it was left, right, dash, and they're spinning, and I can hit them twice, and I'll probably lose, but I did a move.
Yep. No, all right.
Yeah, so just the feeling of execution, like where you hit that point where you're feeling that flow from one to the next, instead of I did this move and then that move, and I got a ring out, like feeling the cartwheel into the sidestep back kick into the jab, or the slide into the kick out of the ring. Like those moments only happen maybe half a dozen times the whole time.
Right.
But when they happened, they felt so good.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Without feeling like just sort of like a lot of fighting games, I feel like you're just sort of sitting there, just hitting a button, timing it right to juggle. Like you don't get that flow. It feels very jarring each time you juggle.
See, I disagree. I kind of disagree on that one. I like that timing of like, because I can go into that. I'm not going to go into that.
No, like I appreciate what it is.
Yeah.
It feels jarring to me. It feels, you know,
okay,
rather than, you know, fluid to me.
Okay.
This felt fluid.
Okay.
And again, that could also possibly be just the character, but who knows?
That's possibly. Yeah. It's hard to say. And that I would say you could find that in many fighting games. It's just a matter, of character, and you know, it's
but I could do this one.
Yeah. High for me was just kind of, for whatever reason, Rock was so entertaining.
Dwayne the Brock Lesnar.
But
Johnson.
Dwayne the Brock Lesnar Johnson.
Yeah.
His name's Rock. I just forgotten about him as a character, and playing with him, not even being good with him, but just kind of like faffing around. I don't know. There was just something about it that I kind of enjoyed. And there was like this lack of seriousness lent to the character, but he wasn't as restrictive as like Voldo was. Because like, as much as I love Voldo for everything that he is, I also hate him for everything that he is, which is jarring to play, difficult to master, hard to watch.
Yeah, no, he's the high skill cap character where if
absolutely.
you don't make that flow, you make no headway.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Whereas the Lizard Man is very basic. You can get away with just constantly doing your quick attacks and dodging. Yeah.
And so Rock the Brock, Dwayne Johnson, Lesnar. I don't like. He was just, there was something kind of dumb about him, and I loved it. He wore like a Triceratops skull and headbutted people, and and his Bangu. Yeah, that was just my peak. Just like okay.
Yeah,
have at it, Soul Calibur.
When I first played this one, because again, 2 was my first step into it,
right?
And then realizing like you can be Lizard Man at the beginning, because he wasn't playable from the get go in the later ones, so that was exciting too. Yeah. I hear you getting to play those guys is exciting.
It is. It's, I don't know. I always respect when a game just kind of throws convention out the window. It's like, this is really dumb, but have fun. Yeah. Which we've talked about before. Yeah. In other games, but yeah. Let's hit those lows.
You go first. I gotta think.
Okay. My low was, well, I'll call back to the no ass jiggle. That's a low.
Yeah.
And my second low, actually it's threefold. So no ass jiggle. Finding out that the game has always been kind of pervy.
Yeah.
And has just like grown in perviness as I've aged.
Yeah.
So that was a little disappointing. And then third, I think, was just the hitbox messiness.
Yeah.
Was like, we both dive kicked at one point and just slid into each other, and it just canceled one another, which would have been fine if it had registered of like some sort of flash of like, hey, you canceled each other or something. But the way that the game did it made it just look like
nothing hit.
Yeah, like
what do?
Yeah. Oh, you both slid cancel? I didn't think of what would happen if you did that. I guess
what mastery to do that at the same time.
Nothing happened, you guys. Just go on. Don't ignore this moment. It was weird. I didn't like that. So
Will Smith came out, popped up a little pen, flashed at us.
Yeah. There were a couple moments in the original Soul Calibur where it just felt like the hitboxes or the hits were just super weird, and I think that was my low point. Was like, if it wasn't already esoteric enough to be like, hey, swords and stuff, and also your health bar means nothing, and then it's like, and also hitboxes are super weird, good luck, have a great time, and just like leave. I like it was a little too much for me to swallow, which is why like I don't really want to ever have to go back to the original Soul Calibur ever again. So
Yeah, no, I think I can play off that one. I don't know that I would say hitboxes generally, with the exception of like the slide kick. That was all sorts of goofy.
yeah.
The only time that I really felt like that it was unfair or broken with the hitboxes, when you had a standing player and a downed player, that was when it really. I just felt helpless trying to get away from the long-ranged characters.
Yeah.
Trying to roll out if you weren't already decently out of ranged.
Yeah.
The hitboxes felt really wide at that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say the hitboxes were a low point in the specific instance of a standing player versus a grounded player.
Yeah. And this goes back to kind of knowing your game and like getting a feel for the characters, but like for the life of me, there was no like universal attacking someone in a downed position.
Yeah.
There was very little in lieu of like, hey, this is a consistent way to get up with your character,
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Yep.
Like I struggled with, to me, what
roll,
feels
roll,
like
roll. Oh, I guess I'm getting up now.
yeah, I struggled with, to me, were like very basic functions of a fighter,
Hmm.
and I don't like struggling in basic
Yeah.
movements. Like
Yeah.
that's not, to me, like that's not okay. And you can say like, oh well, it's the player's fault. Sure, okay, I do take some responsibility in that, but like, damn it, I tried. Like there were multiple times.
I think it's safe to say it was growing pains in a very different take on the genre, making it weapon based and having to look at what your hitboxes look like from one range to the next, grounded, standing, in the air.
Yep.
Both on the ground. You know,
Yep.
I think it's growing pains.
I think so too. I think it was just a matter of like this was the first of its kind, and you know, and that's acceptable to a certain extent, but it also makes like going back to it that much harder.
Yeah.
And I think that really shined out for me,
Yeah.
and obviously for you in certain instances as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, the nostalgia carries it for me.
Yeah,
Like,
oh, definitely.
I wouldn't go back to the first Mortal Kombat and play it and have fun if I had the same issue, because I didn't like that franchise.
Oh, that's fair. There's something like stupidly delightful to me about the first Mortal
I like
Kombat.
watching it. I hate playing it.
Okay, that's fair.
I hate playing it.
But
I will watch semi-competent players go at it for an hour at a time.
Okay.
And I can dig that, but I can't. It doesn't work. My brain just does not translate into finger movements.
No, that's fair. All right.
Can't
do.
Can't.
Yeah, no, that's fair. All right.
Pant.
Eat. Liver.
Can't do it. I'm so confused.
Don't
unless
have
somebody
cow.
rescue me.
All right, so those are our highs and lows. Let's hit up our tryhard scales. 0 to 3 tryhards. How hard was it to enjoy Soul Calibur? The original.
Yeah.
Not the franchise.
Yeah. I'd say probably a 1, based just off of the fact that it's a fighter.
Yeah.
That will be a polarizing point just in and of itself.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like out of that genre, this is one of the easier ones to enjoy.
Definitely.
Because it's got the range of characters that will appeal to a variety of play styles. You've got your range that gives you a little more time to think. You've got your close-up fast stuff. Let's just hammer buttons.
Yep.
And then you've got the Lizard Man, where you've just got a really basic skill set to work with.
Don't forget Bobs.
And Bobs. There's Bobs.
Yep. Lots of Bobs.
Yeah.
Ivy's got best Bobs.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I do want to make a point on that. While it is definitely pervy,
Yeah.
I do appreciate that it's in a way that's like, it hasn't quite grown into something lewd like the Dead or Alive franchise does with their like spin-off things.
Yeah.
Like it's visually it's pervy, but they're not like being overtly gross beyond just like looking at it. Like
I think they've passed that with armor breaking.
yeah, no, I'm talking about
this
game.
one.
This
Okay,
game,
I
yeah.
was like,
no, I'm talking early.
Yeah.
The new entry absolutely changes that in a huge way. In a huge way.
All right.
But yeah, no, the development of the franchise from start to a couple days from now.
Yeah.
I've liked how they've done it, and it was a little disappointing to see that happen. And I've read and realized that it does have like a mechanical impact.
Yes, it does.
But I don't feel like it has enough of a mechanical impact to warrant like this huge graphic focus.
Yeah, the justification
Yeah.
leaves a sour taste in my opinion. It's like, oh, that's why?
Yeah. No.
Oh.
Like just scorch the armor or something.
Yeah,
Like,
there's so many things you
that's a little
can
goofy.
do. Anyway,
Yeah, it's still going to be head and shoulders above Dead or Alive until you've got Ivy playing beach volleyball.
Oh God, that's like a visceral.
Valdo playing beach volleyball.
He doesn't have to change.
No, think of all the sand in all the places though.
Oh, I think he'd like it.
Yeah, I guess he'd be into it. Yeah. Fair.
All right. So, I think to enjoy Soul Calibur, the original one, I'd bump it up to a 1.5. Because yes, it is a fighting game. I think that the franchise has come a long way, right? And so like going to, especially now, like going back to this game specifically, I think newcomers to the fighting genre would be like, oh, this is old. Why do this to me?
Yeah.
And so like there's just kind of this crustiness to it that
Yeah.
is a little difficult to enjoy to the fullest. It's not an aged wine. It's like aged mayo. Still good.
I'm thinking more like maybe stale bread. Like you could still palate that.
Okay.
But you're not going to enjoy it as much as you would fresh.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of all the food analogies that we
Flat
can make.
soda.
There we go. Yes.
Yep.
Exactly.
Flat
yes.
soda.
Yes.
I really like flat soda.
Flat soda with bad hitboxes.
Yeah, I'd rather have flat Sprite than freshly opened Sprite.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Can't handle that take.
Yeah, it's weird.
That is a hot take I do not enjoy.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, 0 to 3 tryhards. How hard is it to get good?
I would say 1.5 or 2. I feel like you've got a lot of entries into being competitive with just the variety of play styles from each character.
Yep.
And it's not heavily reliant on learning combos unique to that character.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say that. I'd say you can map on a combination to any player, and as long as you have spent any amount of time with that character to figure out what the range looks like, you can carry it out without too much trouble, with the exception of the like extremely close range players. But again, that's through my lens of playing longer range characters. Yeah.
I'm gonna go like 2.5, maybe 3, because of how kind of just crotchety weird this game is. I think that the barrier of like getting good is also, you know, learning what works and what doesn't work in these very bizarre situations. You know, the double slide attack.
Yeah, they
cancel.
are very unique to each other.
They're just so odd, and every time it happened, it was very jarring. Like it was like, oh, that was the result.
Yeah,
didn't expect that. To where mapping that out and figuring that out over a time period. I mean, yeah, the internet would be helpful, but like the internet doesn't care about this game anymore.
Helpful for me.
You know, so like, yeah, it's a 2.53 for me. Like it's a weird one. It's a weird one. Is just kind of how I feel about it. It's not like it's a difficult game to learn. It's not, but
there's just a lot to figure out.
To get really good at it, yeah, there's a lot that you're gonna have to kind of climb over in terms of obstacles, I think.
Like Valdo's butt.
Oh gosh, that like canyon view that we had where it was just all ass, all Valdo butt.
Why, hello, Valdo.
It was just so good.
Yeah.
Hello, Valdo. It was like hello, Moto, but
oh, I get it.
Yeah,
because he's a car. He's a Volvo.
He's a Volvo.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, I realized today that his blades move. Did you ever notice that?
Yeah.
I swear in some games they're static, so this one was weird for me.
Fingery things almost.
Except they would like pulsate back and forth. It was distressing.
Yeah, he just everything about him moves creepy.
Everything about him is distressing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we hit up our highs, our lows, and our tryhard scales, and kind of just went over the game as a whole. I'm really excited to come back next week with Soul Calibur 6. But that's pretty much it for us at Two More Tryhards here. You can catch the stream at twitch.tv/2moretryhards, or if it's out of there, you can catch us on YouTube. Just do a search, Two More Tryhards, because we don't have a URL to give you because we don't have enough subscribers. So while you're there, hey, think about subscribing. It's really awesome.
Or
and
just
it helps.
do it.
Or just do it.
It's
it
free.
means a lot to us. If you like our podcast, you can pick them up wherever podcasts are sold. iTunes, Google Play, Podcast Addict, Spotify, yada, yada. You can hit them all up. If you like what you're hearing, first of all, please tell a friend. Like your word of mouth support is what keeps us going, and it helps us a lot. We don't do this for us. because I feel like if we were doing this for us, I would have stopped a long time ago. We do this because we really like putting out this product for people, and we hope people enjoy it. If you feel the desire to financially support us, that is incredibly helpful for us. It helps us pay for the cost of putting these podcasts up. It helps us pay for
XLR cables
because mine just died. So yeah, if you feel the desire to financially gift us, that'd be really awesome. You can do it at twitch.tv/2moretryhards by subscribing every month, or if you want to support us more directly, you can go to patreon.com/2moretryhards. If you have questions for us, complaints, curiosities, hit us up, 2moretryhards@gmail.com, or you can hit us up individually on Twitter with our different Twitter handles. There's @BeardedCatholic, which is myself, @NerdWellRounded,
which is me,
@ThatGuyJordan, which is Jordan. He can't speak because he's not here.
He also has no lips.
Yeah. I have no mouth. And I must scream. And Bunga! Bunga! And you can also hit us up collectively at 2moretryhards on twitter.com.
And 2moretryhards@gmail.com.
And 2moretryhards@gmail.com.
That's the email.
Please feel free to leave a review for us. If it's anything below a 3, talk to us and, let us know how we can make our podcast a 4 or a 5.
Yeah.
And I think that's it for us.
I can pleasure myself to this.
The franchise, not the original.
I could, but I have something better to move on to, so I'll move on.
Yeah. All right. I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
The end.
Bye.